Hello, ladies and gentlemen, or I guess I should say, and welcome to Anime Theory, where I literally went through an entire 37-episode anime in a couple of days. No, I'm completely serious though, I went through all of Death Note just because a lot of people requested a theory on it. By the way, this video will contain spoilers for the anime Death Note. If you don't want to ruin the experience, go watch the anime first, then come back here. I recommend it highly, so go jump on that right away. Now, with that out of the way, it's time to cover the topic at hand, Death Note. So let me get this out of the way first. I was not sure about this anime going in. Popular anime don't always live up to the hype, so I was a little worried I wouldn't enjoy it, but oh my gosh, I was worried for nothing, because this anime is fantastic. Seriously, it blew my expectations out of the water, and it kept me excited the whole way through. It was a constant hype train that kept things interesting, even if some of the sections near the end weren't quite as interesting as the Light versus L parts. Seriously though, L is basically my spirit animal. He even sits like me, it's really kind of frightening. Now, there are several theories I could cover from this anime, but seeing as I just finished it, I want to focus on the plot this time. Don't worry, the deeper meanings theory will come at a later date, as there are a lot of things to cover in that regard. And if you're wanting a more science-y episode, that'll come next week. But for right now, let's get on to the topic at hand. So, to catch up the people who decided to watch this episode without watching Death Note, the protagonist is named Light, and he finds a notebook on the ground that allows him to kill off anybody he knows the name and face of just by writing in the notebook, which is fittingly called the Death Note. Light's eventual goal is to kill off all the criminals and make a perfect, innocent world. He does this under the name of Kira, and the show follows him as he tries to further his goals to become god of the human world. As far as the other important characters go, there's Misa, Light's girlfriend, and L and Nier, who are basically Light's rivals through parts of the story. Now, near the end of the series, Nier and Light have one final showdown to see who's better able to counteract the other's plan. They go to an abandoned warehouse for the final showdown, and in the end, Nier is proven the victor. Now, he explains that he simply saw through Light's plan to use a fake notebook, which was given to Teru Mikami. He's basically Kira when Light's not Kira. However, what if Nier didn't, in fact, outsmart him like that? What if, in fact, there was much more being manipulated from behind the scenes? Basically, what I'm thinking is that Nier used the Death Note to completely destroy Light's chances of winning. This is a theory that has already been discussed by some others, but I wanted to add my own spin to it. There is some interesting evidence to support it that I found, so let's dig right in. Now, during the time just before Light replaced the notebook with a fake one, Nier was having one of his detectives investigate Mikami, the replacement for Kira. Mikami, as shown in the show, builds up almost ritualistic habits and follows them perfectly. During the periods of time where Mikami was at the gym, Nier and the detectives were able to discover that yes, Mikami had the Death Note. Now, let's think about this. Nier had a lot of time before the notebook was replaced, and they were checking up on this notebook extremely often. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that they could have used the Death Note during any of these gym visits. So what if Nier did use the notebook, you ask? Well, my fine feathered friend, it changes a lot actually. Let's think about what transpired before Light was caught. Mikami was writing the names of everyone but Light in the notebook. It turned out to be completely fake and didn't have any pieces of paper from the original Death Note, which I remind you that Nier had at the end of the series as well. After this doesn't work and both Light and Mikami have gotten caught, Mikami literally kills himself. Now you could say this is due to his supposed god finally getting caught, but why would he do this at this moment and in this way? It seems very odd and out of place even if it's supposed to be a distraction, almost like he was commanded to do so by the Death Note. The timing just seems a little too perfect. The way in which Mikami was murdered and the ability to use the Death Note at any time aren't the only things that support this theory, however. Let's look at Nier's character for a moment, shall we? From his literal reveal, we are told that Nier lacks any serious emotion. This is shown throughout the series as Nier never displays even the slightest bit of emotion, whether it be fear, sadness, happiness, etc. He is presented as being merely just emotionless. What then is stopping him from using the Death Note? If he doesn't feel regret, it wouldn't matter to him if he accidentally killed the wrong person or accused the wrong person of being Kira. He would have simply just apologized later and that'd be that. There's no doubt that he'd be fully capable of doing this. And think about it, this was the perfect plan. By using the Death Note, there's no way Nier could have lost. From the moment he wrote in the Death Note, he could control Mikami's every move, and he could control him for a very large sum of time. All he had to do was use the Death Note to control Mikami to use the wrong notebook, and boom, Light loses. There's almost no way Light could predict such an event. As shown in the anime, he couldn't even predict Nier's supposed normal plan. Even if he had managed to predict it, there's very little he could do about it. Light would look really suspicious if he didn't go to the meeting, and both the notebooks were completely out of his control at this point. In a literal sense, if Nier did do this, there is almost no way Light could have beat Nier. There's simply no way of him predicting such a plan and almost no way of avoiding it. In this case, Nier can't lose, there's just no way. So why wouldn't he do it? And for those of you that will ask, yes, there is a reason why he wouldn't admit to it in the anime. Admitting to this would essentially be saying that Nier cheated to beat Light. And this would also make him look pretty bad. I know he doesn't have emotions, but he still seems to have some kind of pride. Also, he could have possibly needed the notebook later to kill Misa, as we don't really know why she died. This way, he seems like he outsmarted Light, and has a guaranteed win to boot. So, in the end, Light's efforts to try and beat Nier were completely meaningless. Nier used the notebook to beat him flat out, and there was virtually no way to stop it. Considering the amount of time he had access to it, Mikami's strange death, Nier's complete lack of remorse, and the potential gain he gets from using it, there's almost no reason why he wouldn't use it. I guess in the end, Light's brains weren't even near his opponent's. I apologize for that one, but I really wanted to say it. But in the end, this is just my crazy theory. Whether you believe it or not, I hope I presented my points well, and I hope you enjoyed the video overall. If you have an anime or theory you'll want me to cover, just tell me in the comments below or tell me on Twitter. Trust me, I have a list full of suggestions, and heck, this episode and the next two come from user suggestions as well. So yes, I do read all of them. Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you enjoyed this video, why don't you press that like button? Why don't you rub that subscribe button with your mouse and then probably click, because otherwise it doesn't do anything. And hey, comment if you got any things to say. Why not? I got a Twitter account. Well, just go check that out. I mention it at the end of some of my videos, and I mean, it's easier to get your anime suggestions put into a video if you tell me on Twitter. So go do it. It's a pretty good idea. And hey, I got some suggestions down there. They're probably the Higurashi episode and the Kinaro Mosaic episodes, so go check those out. And next, as you can clearly see, is Gaku Garashi, a School Live. If you're actually listening to this, it's only spoilers for the first episode, so go watch the full first episode. It'll just make your whole life easier. I'm gonna probably warn it again in the next episode, but whatever. So, there's not much else to say besides see you later.